Mo Zhoming clenched his fists. It's not just him. He's not alone. He brought 2 other powerful fighters with him. Even if it's 4 against 3, it's going to be incredibly difficult. We might not make it out alive. The team fell silent as the weight of Mo Zhoming's words settled over them. The battle ahead wasn't just dangerous, it might be impossible to win. But there was no turning back now. The enemy had been found, and the fight was about to begin. Wu Shifang spoke calmly, his voice steady and confident. Remember, our mission isn't to defeat them, we just need to hold them back for as long as possible. That's something we can handle. Wu Shifang wasn't just brave, he was also smart. The regional leaders didn't choose him lightly for this mission. He quickly sent a message to headquarters. The Western team has made contact with 3 enemies, Dagon Yanjin, Sakuraba Yoshimitsu, and Akira Kurosawa. Today, we fight. Forget about fear, forget about survival. We must stand our ground and give it our all. For Wu Shifang, this wasn't just a fight, it was about protecting his home and his loved ones. If Jiangming fell, everything he cared about would be gone. Even if it cost him his life, he was ready to fight. Mo Zhoming clenched his fists and nodded. Alright, let's show these guys what we're made of. I want to see if these Eclipse warriors are as tough as everyone says. The 14 members moved into their formation. Wu Shifang stood in front as the shield. Mo Zhoming and Li Weihai took positions on the left and right. Jia Heading stood at the back, ready to support them. From the dense fog ahead, 3 figures emerged. Leading them was the towering figure of Dagon Yanjin, his powerful frame cutting a menacing silhouette. Behind him stood Sakuraba Yoshimitsu, his slick hair and smug grin making him look far too relaxed for a battlefield. Beside him was Akira Kurosawa, casually holding his massive black cannon. With the Grey Crow's guidance, they had no trouble navigating the fog and finding Wu Shifang's team. In the northern part of Jiaoming Square, Shuofeiyu and his team ran into enemies. In such a small battlefield, only about 5 kilometers wide, running into opponents was almost unavoidable. Especially since the Eclipse team had their Grey Crows guiding them, they were able to spot Shuofeiyu's group first. The enemies were 2 distinct figures. A stocky man with short hair, a sharp square face, and thick black-rimmed glasses. From the briefings they received earlier, Shuofeiyu's team instantly recognized them. It's Kamaya Wadito and Akatsuki Shinichiro. On the southeast edge of Jiaoming Square, Zhang Yi and his team waited in silence. But unlike the others, no enemy had shown up yet. Zhang Yi was lying flat on the rooftop, his sniper rifle steady in his hands. After looking towards the front, he was surprised that there were several people going to fight. He didn't like this feeling, not being in control. Just then, Tsukamoto Nobunaga, a calm and confident swordsman, stepped forward. No need to overthink it. I'll go check it out myself. He glanced at Mayumi Takeuchi, the group's clairvoyant. After all, Mayumi said my path lies to the southeast today. Phoenix Uamran smirked and nodded. You're right. If Mayumi said so, then there's no problem. Nobunaga, the southeast is yours. He waved at Takizawa Takashi and Nanako, a pair of skilled fighters. Go with him. Make sure nothing goes wrong. Yes, boss, they replied in unison. With the Grey Crows guiding them through the thick fog, the 3 moved silently towards the southeast. At the same time, his body began to change. His skin twisted, his muscles shifted, and suddenly, his body split apart. It grew into a perfect copy of Wu Shifang, a second body, identical to the first. That loneliness shaped his mutant ability, clone shadowing. While the clone was identical in appearance, it was also fully functional, a second version of himself, ready to fight. The metal box Wu Shifang carried opened up, revealing 2 sets of weapons. The clone pulled out a huge silver horn bow, polished and intimidating. Wu Shifang himself grabbed 2 enormous round copper hammers. These hammers were massive, each one larger than a grown man's head and weighing over 100 kilograms. They were weapons out of ancient legends, tools only the strongest warriors could wield. In Wu Shifan's hands, they looked as natural as holding wooden sticks. "I'll hold him off from the front. The rest of you, attack however you can," he barked. Dagong Yanjin smirked as he sized up Wu Shifan. "Oh? You seem strong," he said casually. With a quick movement, he swung his dragonfly cutter, the sharp sound slicing through the air. "Attack!" Wu Shifan shouted. He charged forward like a powerful storm, his heavy hammers ready to strike. At the same time, his clone raised the silver horn bow, pulling the string tight and firing an arrow with a sharp whoosh. The arrow and Wu Shifan moved together, aiming at Dagong Yanjin from two directions. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the story. See you again.